Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to this beautiful Monday. Isn't it gorgeous? Those of you in Southern Cal, I know you know it's gorgeous out there. It's just, what can I say? Southern California today is just picture perfect. But if you're not in Southern California, I'm sure it's beautiful wherever you are. I like to first thank you, our live viewers, and then I also want to thank you, our replay viewers. If you're watching it live or on the replay, just being here means a lot. You're taking time out of your day. So I just want to thank you, each and every one of you. I want to first also thank our sponsors for the show. One of our sponsors who's been sponsoring since the very first show is the Idea Club. And our sponsor for the Idea Club is the president of the Idea Club, who is Dumas Martin Jr. So thank you, Dumas. Always supportive, always been there. It means a lot. And I want to thank our executive producer of the show, and as many of you know, that's my husband, Oliver Welch. Hi, babe. You know, he's those of you never. This is what people have told me. They're like, I keep hearing about Oliver, but nobody's ever seen him. I promise you, he exists. Let me tell you that now. Oliver exists, even though you don't see him. I promise you, he's there. Then I also want to thank. We have the Henderson Real Estate Team. Thank you, Henderson Real Estate Team. We do appreciate you, IEHP. Thank you, IEHP. All of these are the sponsors for the show, and I just want to thank them personally because their support means more than they'll ever know. I just took those bracelets off because I just realized you're hearing that clink, 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 so I took that off so you guys wouldn't have to hear that. Now, I'm going to the books, and then I'm going to tell you about this special guest we have today. Ladies, gentlemen, what can I say? You know, I don't even know how to express to you how important that the guests that come, they're taking time out of their day. Think about that. Out of and who isn't busy nowadays? But they're taking time to be on the show and to show their support, and it really means a lot. So you have a special guest. Just give me a couple of minutes and I'll introduce you to her. I'm going to go over these really quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because you know how I get going with the books. First, what do I always do? I do this book in honor of this lady, Dr. Mildred Dalton Henry, or Dr. Mildred Dalton Hampton Henry. Her book, From the Ashes I Rise. This young lady is the young age of 90. I have nothing but respect for her. All of you should go to Amazon, grab your copy of this book. This book, From the Ashes I Rise. It's 300 pages, but pictures, just really a history that is so rich. So I would encourage you to take the time to just see what this lady has put into this book. It is phenomenal. Everything that is about a history, it really is about the history of this country, really. So definitely take your time and get a copy. Next, I'm going to go over these. This is quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. You know what? I don't think I put that book over here. Oh, yes, I did. I mean, you know, I have just a few books. This is from another one of our authors, Why Is Little Face So Happy? All the books I hold up, they're all on Amazon. One of the newest books, Justin Lost a Tooth. You guys can see that. That's on Amazon also. Next, we have another book. I haven't held this up too often, but this is the Big Black Journal. Now, those of you may say, well, what is that? If you open the book up, it's where now some are using this, I can tell you right now, and all the pages look the same. But the reason why this is important, there are families now using this to put their recipes in, and this is what they're passing the recipes around in. Or you can use it as a journal. Whatever you want to use it for, that's what it's for. Just know that. And I have this one also. This is for sisters. Same thing. You can put poetry, short stories, you name it, whatever you want to put in the book. It's yours. So you can go right on Amazon and get your copy. And I'm keep going really quickly. You know, one of the favorite. This is still to this day the number one bestseller. It was number one best-selling book or number one bestseller on Amazon, and still one of the number one books that I'll say it again. Say it no nicely. I actually had a comment about that earlier, but that's one. I think depending on the person, I've heard people say, "Well, I know how to say no." That's fine. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. And what I try to do in here is teach you how to say it. You don't have to hurt people's feelings by saying no. You can say it nicely and still no, that kind of thing. It's another one, stuck in the elevator, painting the pink well with the yellow tail. I'm going fast. And this is, I say, one of my favorites because this saves your home from probate. This took a couple of years to write, but saves your home from probate. If you own a home in it's 33 states and the District of Columbia, an example of the forms are in here. They're examples. One form, you attach it to your deed, and now your home does not go to probate. It's huge. It's like, I mean, this is, I cannot tell you how many people I wish could just know this, because those of you have heard me say this, it's terrible, but I say it because I lived it. I always say probate is the devil. That's what I call it. I mean, it's not the devil, but that's what I call it. So I would encourage you, avoid probate. Avoid it. I'm just going to be honest with you. With everything I mean, everything, I'm not just saying this. I'm saying this from somebody who knows. Okay? So if you own a property, and you don't have a living trust, or you haven't put someone else's name on it, which I definitely would never advise. And let me also preface that I am not an attorney. I always have to make sure I say that. So what I say has no legal authority. And I say that I just wanted to make sure people understand that I'm not a law. I don't have a law degree. So and I don't have a barcode, none of that. So I'm just giving you my interpretation of probate, which is my personal observation. When you have families fighting against families, that has got to be the devil. That's how I look at that. But if someone did not, because people don't specify, let me just go back and say this. If you have a will and you own property and that's all you have, it goes to probate. If you don't have a will, it goes to probate and you own property. I don't know how else to stress. These are facts. It's not something I'm making up. So I'm saying all this because sometimes I think we just need to you can't never hear this enough, because someone will move. So I can't tell you who, but someone will say, you know what? I own a property. I spoke with a lady, owns 8 properties, has done nothing. Nothing. Not a will, not a trust, nothing. So I'm saying this to those of you that will do something. And I'm hoping that you will. Okay. So now I would like to introduce to you our special guest for today. Her name is Naomi. I don't want to say her last, Dunsen-White. I hope I said it right, but I'm asking her to say it right if I didn't. Her clients know her as the queen of editing. She is a book editor. She's a writer. She's a development coach, a public speaker, and she takes great pleasure in helping others fulfill their dreams of becoming published authors. Who does that sound like? So, with high standards of excellence and integrity, her company, Naomi Books, LLC, serves the author community by providing professional editing and writing services that prepare authors for publishing so they can prosper from their stories. Wow. And I tell you, when I tell you this lady is on the ball, she's on the ball. And she is wearing her crown because you know what? She knows her stuff. Coach Naomi, are you there?
I am. Hi, Coach Mary.
Hi, Coach Naomi. I'm fine. And I love your crown. I do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so, I think this is the first time we've done a one-on-one, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. It is.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the both of us, we're in a mastermind together and have been.
The best mastermind, right?
The best. Exactly. Has it been about 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years?
A little bit. Yeah, about a year and a half for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have enjoyed you I think we all learn from each other in that mastermind.
Yeah.
And our coach, I still call him Dr. Jones, but everyone knows him as Coach Fred, I think. That's what you guys call him. Or just Coach.
Yeah, I think we call him, some call him Dr. Fred, some call him Coach Fred, Dr. Jones. Yeah, but he's great. He's amazing. He really is. He is. He has changed so much for me. I know that.
I think he's helped all of us just kind of figure things out, just
Yeah.
being in the group. And I've just been under his tutelage for a while, and he's helped me quite. I mean, I can. He was, as he knows, he was the first guest on the show
Yeah.
when I first, and he's so proud of that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Well, I'd like for you to tell, before we get going, before we say anything, we have a couple of comments. First, we have Sharon Teen. She said, hello. Hi, Sharon Teen.
Hey, that's the best comment. Hello, beautiful Mary.
I know. And congratulations on your show, Sharon Teen. She has her own show now. And Ethel, good afternoon. Oh, thank you, Ethel. Hi.
Hi.
And Ethel said, she said she's writing. She said she loves your crown.
Thank you, Ethel. Thank you.
And then we have another comment says Kathy Carter says hello. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
Welcome to the
That's
show.
One of my clients. She's an amazing author and a friend. Yeah.
And she says the queen.
Yeah, she knows.
I love it. I love it. Well, you tell me, how did you get started in this space?
Okay, so I began editing quite a while ago, and I just was kind of undercover. You know, I really didn't say much. I just did what I did and did it on the side, you know, part time. And in 2020, I wrote my first book, or I published my first book, and you know, started promoting myself and you know, learning about the author business. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I really got riled up about is the disrespect, I say, and the bad rap that self-published authors often get.
Wow.
You know, when you hear people talking about self-published authors, it's negative. You know, oh, their books aren't good. Their books are not edited. That was one of the main things.
Right.
You know, they're not professional. They're all these, you know, they're not really well done. Libraries didn't want to, you know, accept them, all of these things. And having had that experience writing and editing, I started by helping a couple of people, you know, and one of my issues is I have these pet peeves, and one of them is grammar.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a perfect condition to have, isn't
it? Yes, so, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And we all
I began, we do. And so I, as they say, put my shingle out, you know, and let everyone know that I actually was an editor. And things just really went well from there. So it's not just about, you know, correcting other people's work. It's the pride that I have about what we do as self-published authors, especially self-published authors of color. You know, we are on a mission to make sure that our stories are heard and that our children are positively represented in the children's books we write. So I take it very seriously. It's a mission, it's a ministry, and I think people understand that, and they realize how dedicated I am to them and to our industry, and it just took off from there.
Wow, because I know editing is something. I think only in the last few years have I mean, I've always respected it, but now more so, because like you said, self-publishing. If I publish anything, it's been edited. If it's published, someone is edited. People think you just write and it's just perfect when you write, and that's not true.
Not at all.
You have to get someone else's eyes on it, because as a writer, you know what you want to say. That's what I tell people. So what you end up doing is reading right through your errors.
Yeah.
You can't see them because you know what it should say. That's
As a matter of fact, Catherine and I were just talking about that earlier today. You get close to the work, you really can't catch those things that someone else could. And sometimes we let, you know, cousin is good with English, or our friend is a teacher or whatever, and let them do it. And that's all fine, but they're not editors. And there's more to editing than just correcting mistakes. There are industry standards that editors need to be aware of, you know. There's certain style specifics that editors need to be aware of. And we can pick up on things that authors really you shouldn't have to bother yourself about. You're writing. You're using
Uh-huh.
your gift. So you write and then you let your editor edit.
Oh, I love it. I know the one book I have, the Saying No Nicely, was edited 10 times. And I remember
Wow.
thinking, I know it started out almost 80 pages initially. Now the published copy is about 40, 39, I think it is. So it went from 80 to 30 because it was getting the fat out. That's what I call it. Getting it
Yeah.
where, what is it that you really want people to know instead of the fluff? And
Yeah.
it made a much better book. Much, but it was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I first, I'll be honest, the editing was done first by family and friends, and then it went to professional editors after it
Yeah.
kind of.
It should always be. It should always be.
Hmm. That's for
Because that's
sure.
your reputation. I always say to my authors, this is your heart and soul on the pages, but
It is.
also it's your reputation.
It is.
You know, it's
Uh-huh.
your professionalism that is there for everyone to see. You know,
Hmm.
because once you print it in a book, I mean, you can't get it back. You can take the book down from being sold, but those copies are still out there.
That's right.
And
It's no.
too many times we have authors who discover that there's a lot of mistakes or
Mm.
in their book, and they will have to come to me to have it redone.
Wow.
I've,
Wow.
ha- I've had that happen more times than I'd love to say, Mary. Honestly, it's sad.
Oh, that's, but that's sometimes people try to cut corners. They think, oh, it doesn't need editing. It sounds good, or don't read it to a family, or our
Yeah,
according to our families, our work is perfect, even though and we know it isn't. And I
right,
think that it's that love is really what blinds everyone too. So you really need a neutral person that's not emotionally attached to the project.
right,
That's what I think. And then,
right.
but yeah, that's what I appreciate about editors is,
Hmm.
that, you can step back and see, and you can see it. I mean, nobody has to show it to you. You can see it right away.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah, because that's your gift.
yeah.
That's your gift. Well, I know too. You are also an author.
Yes, I'm a children's book author. I've written one book for adults, and that really was written to parents and caregivers. It's called "Is Your Child an Excellent Reader?" So it's all about literacy and children for me. Hmm.
Okay. Do you have a copy? Do you have a
I
copy
do.
right there?
I have. Okay, so this is my first book, Jahari the Great,
All
and
right.
my
That's wonderful.
yeah, yeah, and
Oh,
it's an early chapter book, so it's still illustrated, but it's during that transitional time when children are ready for more words and less pictures.
wow. Okay. Okay. All
And
right.
yeah, I really enjoy. This one is inspiring. My themes are always about purpose, about my belief that all children have a gift within, just waiting to be
Mm,
discovered. And it's up to us, the adults in their lives, to help them discover it. That's what I
wow.
believe.
I
So I
tell
will
you.
always weave that into my book somehow. And
I
then second book is Why Am I Here? A Child's Book About Purpose. There
Wow. Look at all the awards. Wow. And
we
I
go.
didn't know that. I Coach Naomi.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Very exciting. It's an important topic, that we really don't speak to children about very much. We'll ask them, and the illustrator is beautiful.
Wow.
She's. I live in Michigan, outside of Detroit, and my illustrator, her name is Megan Rizzo. She's also from Detroit. She's just amazing. She is absolutely amazing,
Oh,
and she caught my vision very
yeah.
clearly.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. So, it starts out whimsical and encouraging children to use their imagination. In both books, I do that. And then I begin talking about diversity and purpose and destiny, because I think that that's what we need to do. And I believe that all children should be represented.
It's
So,
beautiful.
diversity is it's huge. And so I really hope that this book can be used to start that conversation with children about
Right.
purpose and
Mhm.
destiny.
That is wonderful.
So, Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And in the back of the book, I include worksheets and discussion questions for parents
Mhm.
to talk with their children about what they just read.
Wow. No, I saw the different awards. What awards were those on that book?
Um, I have several. They're not all on the book because it's actually too much to try to put to put on the book.
Wow.
So
Okay.
ones that I'm most proud of, the Black Caucus of the American Library Association. I won the best of the best. I'm sorry, that is my phone ringing. I'm trying to turn it off. It's very loud.
That's okay.
So I won the best of the best, a spot on the best of the best list
Uh-huh.
by the Black Caucus of the American Library Association. And that's a list that goes out to all librarians across the country. That one
Wow.
was huge for me because, my goal is to represent children of color.
Uh-huh.
And I think the next one that I'm most proud of is the one, it's the Jerry Pinkney. I was a finalist, or this one right here. And Jerry
Wow.
Pinkney, he's passed away now, but he is one of the most renowned illustrators. He was a black male, of course, and his illustrations were just outstanding. He won the Coretta Scott King Award. He's won so many awards, and I'm a fan. So when I made finalists and for his, I was very proud. And then I also won Mom's Choice Award, the Purple Dragonfly Award, and I was a finalist for the Page Turner Award, which is an international award. So that
Wow.
yeah,
You
exciting,
know
and I'm
what?
very
This is the first time I did not know all this. I never
grateful.
knew. No, this is seriously. I knew you were a writer, but I had no idea about all these awards you have won.
Yes,
That's
I'm very grateful.
fabulous.
Thank you.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk. No.
Okay. Okay.
I am impressed. Good for you. Good
Thank
for
you.
you. I know we have some other comments. I want to make sure. I always try to let our audience, when they comment, I want to make
I
sure
love
we.
that. I love that. I'm glad you're doing that.
Oh yes, and we have Charles Radney. Hi, Charles. Hello. You let
Hello,
Charles
Charles.
know that you're here. And then we have Oliver, our executive producer. He says, "Hi, Naomi. Welcome to
Hello,
the show.
Oliver.
I know this is
Thank you
going to
so
be a great
much.
show based on your expertise in your field." You're
Thank
right,
you so
Oliver.
much.
And she know I can tell you, in the class, she's always dropping gems and helping us out with different things. And this is Ethel. She says, absolutely, we teach that in our parenting class. Parents have to help children to discover their gift
Yes.
within. I love it. Purpose and destiny. Yes. Where can I get
Yes,
a copy?
absolutely.
She said, where can she
Oh,
get a
well,
copy?
thank you, Ethel. Yeah, NaomiBooks.com. That's my website, NaomiBooks.com. You can find
Yeah.
both of the books there. Why Am I Here was just released in Spanish as well. So I have that one. Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
put
both
it.
of the books are there. You can read more about. There's a lot of reviews on my site and just a lot of good information. I try my best to share information about diversity.
Wow. I'm gonna put this up. There it is. Is that it?
Thank you,
NaomiBooks.com.
Coach Mary.
You're
Yep. Thank you.
welcome. So, ladies, gentlemen, you know how we do. We support. So make sure you get a copy. I'm definitely gonna get one. I am just like I
Thank
said,
you.
I knew you wrote, but I didn't have a clue of what you just showed. I am just so impressed. I really
Yeah.
am. Good for
Thank you
you.
very much.
And then we have another comment. This is from Kathy. She said, amazing. This is your friend?
Yeah, she's an amazing author herself. So yeah, I can brag on her all day. She writes middle
Oh,
grade books, and they're. I enjoy editing her books because I get to, most of my clients I get to read them first, so it's always
yeah.
wonderful. But yeah, she's a great
Oh,
author. She really is.
all right. Well, welcome, Kathy. Welcome to the show. Then we also have here, Ethel says, beautiful works. Thank you for representing children
Thank
of
you, Ethel.
color. All
Thank you very much.
right. And then she said,
Very important.
congratulations.
Yeah, very
Congratulations. Thank
important.
you. And I'm going to go back and make sure everyone knows NaomiBooks.com to get your
Thank
copy.
you.
And then we have, is this Crystal? Crystal Sun Love. Oh, now it's Kathy says, thank you so much. And then Crystal, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. And Crystal, that is Crystal. Hi, Crystal. I didn't know, this is the first time I think Crystal's been at the show. Hi, Crystal.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Well,
nice.
thank you for coming to showing this. And Kathy said, she said, thank you so much too.
Yeah,
Now tell me,
the crown there so it doesn't slip off.
where do you get your ideas for your books? Where do they come from?
The first book I had written several years ago, and I wrote it as a birthday gift to my grandson, my first grandson. And he was very young at that time. I was just writing him a little story because I was
Mhm.
always so amazed with his imagination and how smart he was. I mean, just always just a super bright kid. And I would have these conversations with him, and I'd be looking at him like, how do you even know that? And he just amazed me. But just the story was for him. It was going to be a gift, and then I read it to his parents, and both of them were like, "Mom, this is really good. Like this is really good. This isn't
Mhm.
just a little story." And so I did some work on it, and then I just didn't do anything with it, Mary. It was just this dream. And over the years, they had more children, so I was blessed with more grandchildren, and I wrote those children into the story. Not them, but just their names as different
Right.
characters.
Mm-hmm.
And, when 2020 and the pandemic, we all kind of looked at ourselves and our lives like, you know
Yeah.
what? Life is not promised. Your
Yep.
dreams are still here inside of you. It's
Yep.
time to do something. And I was one of those people. Now, again, all along, I had been editing for different people, different
Mhm.
authors. I started out by writing for my pastor, who was
Okay.
publishing his books, and here I am writing, ghostwriting for him, and editing, and I never did anything for myself. So,
Wow.
yeah, at that time, I was like, I really should do this. And my husband said, now is the time. You need to
Yeah.
do this. And so
Wow.
that's what we did. And I
Well,
haven't looked back.
I would, and I'm saying, and the reason I'm asking, truthfully, for the person that's on the fence and doesn't know where to start, doesn't know what to do, what advice would you give them?
Well, I like to help people. I'm really very supportive of my author community. And one of the reasons why is because I want to help people to avoid the mistakes that I made. Now, I did just jump out there. I didn't have any idea what I was doing because I was always behind the scenes. Now I'm going to become an author, not an editor. Most
Right.
people don't know the editor's names, they just know the author's names, right?
Right.
So I would suggest do a little homework first, do a little research, ask some questions if you know people
Mhm.
who are already out there. But
Mhm.
Google is our best friend, right?
Yeah.
Just Google some information, some basic information about how to start. It's better to have a good idea about at least a few things than to jump out there and know nothing. And then
Right.
my second advice is become active on social media because the author
Wow.
community is huge. The author community is huge. It really is. And
Yeah.
if you're blessed like I am, you can find a supportive community. Just come find me. I'll bring you right into our community. I do that all the time
Mhm.
for new authors because it helps to have that support.
It
And so,
does. It really
yeah,
does.
yeah. Those that would be my advice.
Because we meet every Monday. For my time, it's 9 o'clock. I guess it's 9 at your time, but it's 11 at your time, but 9 at my time, I think.
I'm 3 hours ahead of
Oh,
you.
okay. So it's
Yeah.
noon at
So
your time. Your noon
it's
for you.
4. Yeah.
Okay, and it said 9 for Doctor. We're talking about for Dr. Jones, our mastermind.
Oh, for doctors, yeah. Yeah, it's noon
Hmm.
for me.
And that is, but I try not to miss it. Whenever I was driving this morning. I still, I'm on the phone. I said, I even told him, I said, I'm in the car, so I can't really participate. But I try not to miss it because I learned so much. I
Yeah,
learned
from each other. We learn from each other.
other. And that's means so much to me until I try not to, I try to make sure it's, I try, if I'm not saying I haven't missed, but I don't try and miss. I can tell you that.
Right.
I want to learn. I want to become a better writer. I want to become, now I can't say that I'm an editor, but I can tell you, my writing has improved. I'll say that. That's,
Yeah,
hmm
absolutely.
for sure, for
Absolutely.
sure. So are you planning on writing any more books?
Yes, I'm actually working on a series which is the answer to Why Am I Here? And then I'm
Wow.
also working on the second book for Jahari because so many people have asked me about that. They would like this story to continue. So my illustrator had her first baby, so she has been out of commission, and so I have waited for her. I don't want to go with anyone else. So I
Yeah.
have waited for her. So we've had some introductory talks about, getting started. So I don't think I'm going to publish this year. Going to be
Oh,
planning to release that series early next year. Hopefully around Black History Month is a good time, I think.
okay. How many in your series? What is it? Is it three? What is it? How many books?
There are three books. So here the question here is, why am I here? A child's book about purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
the answer is, I am here too. And it starts with three books that are spoken
Wow.
about. Some of the questions that are spoken about in this book, we're actually going to discuss those and answer those.
Okay. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I am excited about it.
Good for you. You know what? I think it's going to win awards also. I
I
think
hope
it'll
so,
be,
Mary.
yeah, I think it will. I really do. I mean,
It's an
it's,
important topic, right?
it is. Yeah. That's what makes me, it's like people want, it's something they want to know. They want to read to their kids. Um, I think it answers a lot of questions for people, that kind of thing. So there's no doubt in my mind it's going to do well.
Yeah.
No doubt at all.
Thing.
Now I
Yeah.
know too.
Well, I wrote it because I struggled with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just saying
No,
I struggled with that question when I was an adult. I
right.
struggled with wanting to do the right thing but not knowing what it was.
Right.
Oh my god. So I
That's
did
okay.
struggle with it. I can't believe this phone is so loud. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, so it works for me because now I'm able to talk to other people about it. And when a children's book is not just for kids. So I've had
Mm.
adults tell me how much this book means to them and how they wish that they had had a book like that when they were growing up. So
Wow.
that blesses me. There's
It
this
do
quote
bless.
by C.S. Lewis, he's amazing. C.S. Lewis,
Right.
the Christian writer.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
the
he
lion
has a
and the
quote.
wardrobe. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
And so he said that a children's book that can only be enjoyed by children is not a good book at all. And he's right.
Wow. And I know you're right. About a week, was it a week ago? I was reading, and when they asked me to speak it was a function. It was called the Tamale Fair, I think, at one of our local parks.
Mhm.
And I'm reading one of the books. To tell you the truth, the parents were more the parents were paying more attention than the kids. I was sitting there
Yeah,
just watching the parents listen to someone read to them, and it was almost like magical to
yeah,
watch adults be absorbed into a children's book. I was sitting, and these are the words I wrote, and I'm going,
yeah.
wow, this is, and I
And
had
it's
this.
not just little ones who like being read to.
It's not. They have really showed me that. I don't care what anybody says. I am a witness to this. When I
Hmm.
saw the reaction of the parents and saw how they were just engrossed in it, and how when there was something cute, they were right on top of it. They got it, you know. And sometimes the kids were like, maybe they could get it, maybe they couldn't, but the parents did not miss a beat. And it would be so interesting to see that, you
Yeah,
know. And I love that reaction though, to see them. They were like leaning in and wanted to
yeah,
be. So I would
yeah.
tell
Because
you,
when you're teaching a concept, it can be something as serious as purpose. It can be something. One of my authors wrote about the fear you have when you go to the dentist. I saw you
yeah,
wrote about justice is a tooth. Take a concept like that and you can make it meaningful as well as fun, as well as
yes,
enjoyable. So I feel that education and inspiration should go hand in hand. And so when I
right,
write, I want to not just entertain, but I want to educate and inspire as well, to
right.
really
Oh,
inspire a child.
well, I can do. Well, it's showing by your awards you're doing both.
Thank
So
you.
it's doing what your the goal is definitely doing that. So I just wanted to. I mean, I'm clapping over here going,
I appreciate
congratulations.
you, Mary.
Well, keep going.
Thanks.
Don't stop. Don't stop. I know I'm gonna go back to the page again because I know anytime we're out, I can't see the comments. So those of you that are writing comments, I will go back so we can make sure we get them. And thank you for all of you that wrote any comments. So I'm going to go and do a roll call quickly, and that is Sharon Team
Very
Botley.
nice.
Hi, Sharon Team. Then we have Ethel. Hi, I'm going back through there. Kathy, Charles, Oliver, Kathy, Charles, Oliver, Ethel, and then we have and then Crystal, and going down. And this is Elaine. Now, Elaine and I attend the same meeting, but today I wasn't able to go to the meeting. So, Elaine,
Oh,
thank you for coming today. I appreciate you. And let me put Elaine's it's a comment. She says, "Hi there, Mary, and your dynamic guest, Naomi. Yes, Naomi. Every child
see,
has a gift that is just waiting to be opened. God blessed me to help them to do that as an educator for many years." And she did.
absolutely,
Yeah, I tell
absolutely.
you. And this lady, I have so much admiration for. She helps students get scholarships to go to college.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's her
That is
calling
wonderful.
because her daughter's already got, she's received her degree and everything, but she helps, whether you're not her biological child, but she is in the community. How can I help this child receive a college education? So thank you, Elaine, for that. Let me give you a hand for that because I know
Yeah,
that's
thank
your,
you. Yeah, absolutely.
it is. And we have Crystal. This Crystal says, "Wonderful,
Thank you,
Naomi."
Crystal. Thank
And then we
you.
have Sheila. Sheila says, hello. There you go. She
Hi,
says, hello,
Sheila.
ladies. Hi, Sheila. Make it today. And Fayette says, hello, ladies. Hi,
Hi,
Fayette. Fayette is the
Fayette.
author of the book I was holding up
Oh, I
earlier.
saw that book when you were showing it. Yeah.
I did. Where did I put your book, Fayette? I put it down. Oh, here it is. This is the author of this book, ladies and gentlemen. She's writing the book with her
Awesome.
granddaughter right now. I know.
Oh,
We have to
that's
get, isn't
beautiful.
that wonderful?
That's
I'm so proud of
beautiful.
her. And then we have Levon says
Hi,
Mary and
Levon.
Naomi. And I tell you, thank you. And this is Trish. Trish says, hi, ladies. Enjoyed the show. Oh, thank you, Trish. Trish is actually, you know what, Trish? I didn't bring the book next to me. Normally it's here. And that
Is
is,
she an author too?
she's an author too. Yes, she sure is. Excellent
Awesome.
author.
Awesome. Very
So
nice.
that is,
Yeah, we need all of them. That's wonderful.
here they come. These are the hearts from Fayette. When I was telling, she's writing the book with her granddaughter now. She
That's
said her and her
awesome.
granddaughter gonna write a book together. And Trish is, oh yeah, she's a Fayette. Yeah,
Fayetteville.
Trish is one of the authors in the anthology. It's called Transformations. It came out
Okay.
this year. And so she's one of the authors, and so is Fayette's one, and Trish. Well, they're
Oh,
both
that's
authors
great.
in the book. I'm trying to think,
That's
is
great.
anybody else in the author that I missed that's in the book? I don't. That's it. I just want to make sure if they were, I give you guys a shout out. So you want to get that? It's on. Those of you that would like to get the book, it's on Amazon called Transformations. We'd love for you to get a copy of it.
Transformations.
And there's
Awesome.
songs in there, short stories. Even we have a young man. The mother, unfortunately, he passed, but the mother has one of his poems in the book. So I
Oh,
would
that's
tell
beautiful.
all of you get a copy of Transformation. So, but
Beautiful.
I'm
Beautiful.
curious. You started writing, so it kind of sounds like, if I understand it right, Coach Naomi, kind of by accident that you became an
Writing?
author. Yes.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. I've always been a writer.
Okay.
And it
Okay.
wasn't, yeah, it more than an accident. It was just a delayed dream.
Okay.
I always knew I would, I
Oh,
always knew it would be
really?
this book. Yeah, I knew it would be
Wow.
this one.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I just
Wow.
held on to it. I revisited it. I perfected it. And I
Okay.
knew it was special. And so I should have done it earlier, but you have those fears and then life. And I was working and
Yeah.
I had my own business at that time, a completely different business. But
Right.
COVID was the catalyst for so many creatives, to
Yes.
really jump out and fulfill their dreams. And I'm just one of those creatives. It did it for me as well. I was like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So
Oh, but
that's what it was.
I I think it was a wake up call. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
'Cause we
And
were
it still
dealing.
is, right?
It still is, but not like when it first hit, and there was no vaccine. There was no vaccine, and people
Right.
were just passing. It's almost like every day we heard somebody.
It was terrifying. It was
It was very
terrifying.
terrifying.
Oh my gosh. So
It
scary.
was. and it made us rethink life. I think,
It did.
like you
I
said,
agree.
what are we waiting for? Where were
Right.
we? I think, well, for me, I remember for it was Kobe Bryant's helicopter changed my life. I'd say that
Mm,
because that they had every intention, everybody on the helicopter, every intention when they got in the helicopter that day of getting from point A to point B, and it didn't happen.
yeah.
It changed it made me look at life differently. That's just the reality. And
So tragic.
when I published the book, Saying No Nicely was 30 days after that. 30 days after that, I published. I'd had the book, but I was afraid to publish it because I thought people wouldn't like it. I was going through the what if they don't like it, and what if people say bad things about it, all of those things that don't have to mean anything. And
Anything.
finally, but once his helicopter went down, it was like, you know what? Let them say whatever they want to say, but you publish this book. It changed my
Absolutely.
life. It changed my
Yeah.
life. So, and I think COVID did the same thing. It was a
Yeah.
life changer for us.
It did for a lot of people.
Hmm.
A lot of
So,
people. And thank
so even
God for that. Thank God. Not for
yeah,
COVID, but I mean, I mean, for it affecting us and making us take a good look at our lives
yes,
and our purpose. That's something that God put in us. That's what I'm trying to teach children. There's something He
it's
puts in
true.
each one of us. Yeah, my purpose is different than yours. My path is different than yours,
Yes.
right? But we all have it. So what are we doing sitting on it? And for our
Wow.
babies, we need to help them to understand that it's more than just what do you want to be when you grow up? We all ask them that. And they'll
Right.
say a doctor or a fireman or whatever. And we say, oh, good, you can be whatever you want to be. And then that's the end of the discussion.
It's
What
true.
about what's in here? What do you feel in here? What has God put in you? What gift do you
Wow.
have to bring to the world? That's what I want to know. And that's what I want them to know. And that's why I wrote this book.
I don't think we even talk like that. And I'm guilty of
We
that. Of
don't.
not really addressing that. Of
Yeah.
you want them to find that, and at the same time, I know for me, it was after I've been teaching for over 30 years, and I came into the reality of we only have so long on this planet. It's
Yeah.
not like we get to stay here forever. It's not like that. And when I went to my principal and just said, you know what, this has been fun, but I'm going to be retired at the end of the school year, and she did not. She wasn't happy about it. And she goes,
Yeah.
the kids like you, the parents like you, the staff likes you. And I'm just listening to her thinking, I'm still leaving.
But what about you? See, the whole thing is, what about you? And we do that with our children. We talk to them more about jobs and career than
Yeah,
purpose.
we do. We really do. And that could be why the younger, I know it's the generation, my generation would stay on the job for 30 years. That was that was,
Yeah.
we did that. The generation behind us, they don't do that. They don't do that. They don't stay for
This
30 years.
generation today, oh no, no way,
And
no
I
way.
look and I go, and I understand it. If they don't like something, they're gone. It's just like,
Yep.
and I don't know which one's the better way. I can't say I don't know. All I know is they look at life differently, and
They
they
do.
are willing to take a chance. And more so, I think, than I was. I think I was more, no, I mean, whatever's going on, I'm gonna stay here and deal with it, whatever the case may be. They're not like that. They're looking at
Mm.
life differently. They're like, if that's, things aren't going right, we can do, move on. But I'm saying that to say, I go back to our books. The books that you're writing, you're affecting the children, not just the children, it's the parents that are reading these
Yeah.
books and reading the books to the kids. Are their lives being affected by the book? Like you said, as an
Right.
adult, I didn't figure out I could write. I say figure it out. I had been retired for 40 years before I even knew I could write. Had not written a word. I think I've written
Mm.
poems, never a book, ever in my entire life. So, but it took that for me to come into it was years to find out I could write. And now I'm writing
Yeah.
movie scripts and that I never thought I could do. But I
And
look
how
back,
amazing is that?
tell me about it. I go, I really do. I said, Lord, I thank you for this. I thank you that I trusted you when I couldn't see anything. I didn't understand what was pulling me away from the edge. Nothing, I don't want to say anything negative against education, by the way. It's just that I knew it was time to make a change for me
Yeah,
after
yeah,
34 years as an educator. But I didn't know what I was trying to find. When you said
yeah.
the title of your book is "Why Am I Here?"
Why am I here?
How
Yeah.
I
What's
knew
my
was
purpose?
I had spent 34 years, and I said, "Okay, Lord, I don't want to leave this earth and find out there were other things I should have been trying to do, but I was too afraid to try. I
Yeah,
was too afraid to try." And to be honest with you, I
that's what I'm
tried.
talking about. Hmm.
That's scary, but
And you
I
were
am.
doing good things, Mary. You were doing good things. Being a teacher is a wonderful thing.
It
But there's a
is.
difference between doing good things and doing the thing that you are supposed to do.
I'll be honest with you, Coach Naomi. I was scared too. There's a part of me that was afraid to take those steps, and there was another part of me
Yeah,
that was afraid not to. That's what I'm
there you
telling you.
go.
I was
Yeah, that's
so.
deep.
Uh, I said, if you don't, I this is what I knew. If I didn't leave then, retire then, I knew I never would, and
Right.
I didn't want to be on my deathbed saying, "I wish I had tried."
I
That's what I
wish I
didn't
had.
want. I didn't want that. I said one thing.
Yeah.
This even as I was trying to walk out the door, my principal said, "Mary, what if you do all of this and you find nothing?" I'll never forget that day. And I said, "At
Wow.
least," I actually said this to her. I said, "At least I'll know." What I knew in that instance, I could go to my grave with the knowledge I tried.
Yeah.
I tried,
Right.
and I was okay with that. I was okay with that. I remember that feeling of if I don't do it, I will never know. I will never
Right.
know. Because she said, "Why don't you do it on weekends?" Whatever you're looking for.
She was really trying, wasn't she? My goodness. She was not let it go.
And I said, "No, I can't do that." But to think about this, it really, if you really be honest, it sounds kind of crazy because she said, "You have a good job, you have good benefits, and you're leaving for I don't know." And I said, "Yes." I couldn't even, there was no words to explain it. But as I look back now and look at these books I've written, I don't think I could have done it if I was working full time. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. So anyway,
You did what you were supposed to do.
but see, with your books, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Hmm. I
You're a
believe
book,
that. I believe it.
yes. And and we're telling other people you can. I don't. I first of all, I'm not telling anybody to leave their job. Let me say that.
Yeah.
I would, I would encourage you if there's something you want to do. I would encourage you to try it, and you got to try. That's what I tell anybody. Whether when you try, you have succeeded. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Just
Even
in
if
your
you have to end up trying again, you still have succeeded in trying.
yes, yes. But I think people they don't want to hear it. Somebody's, "Oh, you should have never done that," or "Why did you do that?" And it wasn't that a waste of time. And I begin to realize there's no such thing. There's no such thing.
No.
It's these barriers and things that we created are all here. They're
Mhm.
not real, but we've made them
Right.
real. That's what I think it is. So, um,
Yeah.
but what you've done. Have anyone else in your family decided to write or publish or any of those things?
No. No. I'm the first, and I'm the only one so far. Yeah. I wish they
You know,
would. I really. My husband has a good story to tell. I really hope that he will write his book one day.
and he may. We have, I think it's 8 in our family.
I'll give him a
After,
good discount, Mary. I mean, I will really, work with him.
but you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Probably, if you be honest, you shouldn't, because if you, he can take it personal if you edit his work. Now,
Oh
someone
yeah,
else
no
can
doubt.
do it other than you, but someone else
Yeah,
edit his work. I think is better.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't.
I'm just kidding. I was just
I
saying
know,
that they would
but
just.
I like that you
But
said you give him
I
a good.
really wish he would. But you're right. You're right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because he doesn't want.
Because I
That's
mean,
just so.
we can't edit our own work.
Yes,
Hmm?
I know. I say he does. He wants to always, and I don't know if he's watching the show or not, but be the hero, and it's hard to edit. I know. When my husband reads my work, he always says good things about it, but I always think that's the kindness in him and his love for me. So it's kind of
Yeah,
hard to be critical. Someone else can be critical, but you can't. Let me just say that.
a neutral
That's
party. Neutral party.
yes, yes. And we have some more
Absolutely.
comments here, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you for your comments. And as I
Yes.
go
Thank
down the
you.
list, they are. Oh, Trish says, Sister Fayette, my word was changed. She said, laugh out loud. Okay,
Oh,
Trish. And Trish says, I understand a delayed dream. That's totally me,
yeah.
but I'm thankful for Mary and Sister Faye. Oh, thank you. I can
Now,
tell
see,
you.
if you didn't do what you felt your purpose was, you wouldn't have been able to help these authors fulfill their dreams.
And I never, and when you're on these journeys, I don't think we realize how many people we're helping just by being on our journey. And
Absolutely.
we start giving people permission to be on theirs.
Absolutely.
So I really
Yeah.
think, oh, and Trish, I thank you for trusting me. Thank you because and thank you. I mean, Fayette and I, in fact, Fayette and I, we miss each other. Usually we talk. We haven't had a chance to do that. We've been so busy. But these ladies are powerful, powerful authors. They really are. And here's Elaine. This is another powerful author. She just doesn't know it yet. She says, "Thank you, Mary, for the shout out, serving others." Oh, Elaine, I
Beautiful.
should put your number in here.
That's
That's how many
beautiful.
people she helps. I really do need to put your. If it's okay with you, I would give it because if you have someone that's looking for scholarships, this lady can find money for someone that's interested in getting their
Mm.
education. Crystal, I don't want to. I'm going down so fast. Here's Crystal says, Crystal, he said they don't waste time staying on a job if they don't like it. That's right, they don't.
It's
I
true.
I experienced that with my own children. I'm like, what is going on with them? They,
Yeah, this different.
it
Yeah.
is.
And Catherine was a school administrator for 35 years, so she gets it.
Wow. Yes, you got see same thing, Cap. I understand. I don't know what it is. I think there's a balance in there that needs to happen. I just don't know what it is. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't quite hear what you're saying, but I know you were talking about the difference in the generations. And sometimes we say
Yes,
this generation is, I hear a lot of people say they're more self absorbed or self centered, but they
yes,
are going after what they want. Whether
yes,
that's good or bad, I really don't know because many times they get it, like they get what they want. And so I believe there's a lesson in that too. And the times have just changed. We're living in a whole different space now, and the things that we felt were priorities, we look at them now as old fashioned values, so to speak, old fashioned values. And it's just different. They have different interests. Everything in our society now is like fast. It's auditory or it's visual. It's interactive. Video games, movies, everything is just so loud in front of them. Loud with their ears and loud with their eyes that they just don't learn like we used to. They don't work the way we used to in previous generations, and so we have to respect that in a way and watch them evolve. I think, but we have to be able to relate to them, whether we're writing books for this younger generation or whether we're teaching this younger generation. That all matters. That all matters because it's a whole different world. It really is. It really is. And I wanted to say also for you who are commenting, if you have any questions, if you have a question for me, I'd be more than happy to answer it. I know I don't think Mary would mind because she's reading the comments. So I will let me just take this opportunity to give you all some writing tips because we have writers and we have authors here in the audience. So one of the things that I suggest when I get an opportunity to speak to people who aspire to be authors is that you learn to self-edit. Right? Everybody needs an editor for their book. You need a professional editor. And no disrespect, as I said earlier, if your friend is a teacher or your cousin is a writer or whatever, you need a professional editor. But before you get to the editor, there are some tips that you can use to edit your work yourself, and it will save you money, number one, because you won't be at the early stages of editing, and it will save you time with getting your manuscript together. And one of those things is, if you're working in Word, there's a basic spelling and grammar check. I always suggest that writers use the basic spelling and grammar check. That's very good. And then the other thing is outline. I'm sure you were all taught in school to use an outline. It actually is helpful. Even if you just use it in the very beginning and then you just get creative and deviate from your outline, that's fine, but use an outline to start. And if your story leads you, where you intended to go, fine. You have your outline. But if your story is leading you elsewhere, you at least have your outline to go back to. And if you need to change it and adjust it, that's fine as well. But know where you want your audience to go. Because basically, you're inviting your reader to come on a journey with you. And if you are leading them on that journey, you always need to be able to turn around and look behind you and make sure they're still there, right? So you have to know where you're going. They don't know where they're going. They're just following you. So that's a tip that I always give my authors is to always make sure you know where you're going and where you want to lead your readers. And, follow that because you can't get lost because if you're lost, there's no hope for them. They're lost. And that's not something that we want as authors, right? So always go over your work and try to make your work the best it can be. You're not an editor, but you can be an excellent writer and present to your editor a manuscript that has been done as well as possible. And again, that saves time and it saves money and it builds a better working relationship with your editor.
All right, Coach Naomi. I just want to take this time to thank you. My apologies for
No problem.
I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on the show today. I know we'll see
Thank
each
you.
other next Monday, but thank you again for coming out.
No, it's an honor, Mary. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much to everybody in the audience. It was a very good discussion. I enjoyed it very much. I almost forgot we were on the air. So thank you.
Well, that's really I'm always excited. And then our audience was very involved. They said we've lost Mary.
Yes.
You guys did. You know what though? That tells you that Coach Naomi's a professional. She kept everything going no matter what. She never stopped. She just kept going. So, and I think, but I just want everyone to know. I see a couple of comments, so I can get them in real quick. What was Elaine? Oh, did you say delayed dreams do not mean denied? Okay, here we go. So I can get those. And there we go. Delayed dreams do not mean denied dreams because dreams don't have expiration dates.
Oh, I like that.
You can put my contact information. Okay. You know what I would have to do because we're down to 1 minute, Elaine, but I will do it at the next show. I'll start the show off with your information. So, and then Levon says, if you think we think we
We
lost
lost
Mary, you
Mary.
did. But you know what? I can tell you, though you guys don't see Oliver quickly switched up and made sure that we got back online again. So I just want you guys to know
That's awesome.
he's on top of things. So thank you again. And this is editing right now for the second time, and I don't like it. That's what Crystal says.
Yeah,
Crystal
it's
said,
not an editor. You don't like it. You don't like it. That's what I'm here for.
oh, I know.
Again.
So thank you again, Coach Naomi. I really
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Will you come back again?
I would love to. Just let me know.
I will. All right. Everyone, we will see you next month. Oh, no, we won't. I'm so sorry. We will not see you next Monday because our daughter is graduating from college next Monday. So we're gonna
Oh,
be
yay!
I know. So
Congratulations.
we won't be here next
Wow.
Monday. But we'll see you the following Monday. But next Monday we'll be graduating, we'll be celebrating all that fun stuff. So bye everybody.
Awesome.
We'll see you in 2
Thanks.
weeks. All right. Thanks
All right.
again.
Thank you,
Bye
Coach
bye.
Mary. Bye bye.
You welcome.